Hi guys, my name's Colleen. Welcome to Good Dog Grooming. How often do I need to Dremel my dog's nails in order to get the quicks to recede? This is a very common question, and the answer just might surprise you. So please stay tuned and consider subscribing. So first of all, the quick is that inside part of the nail with the blood and the nerves, which is why it bleeds and it hurts if it gets cut. And if the quicks are neglected for too long, or the nails in general are neglected and the nails get overgrown, the quicks kind of follow and get overgrown as well, to the point where when the nails are trimmed, they can only go so far back, and as far back as you can possibly Dremel them is still long. What we do in that case is we try to get the quicks to recede. And what that means is if you trim or Dremel very close to the quick, you can, over time, get that quick, you chase it back. It will recede over time. And with that regular maintenance, you'll be able to get the nails to a reasonable length again. So generally, people talk about maintenance of nails versus getting quicks to recede. And the general rule that I see repeated online really often is, for maintenance, do your dog's nails once a week. And for getting the quicks to recede, do your dog's nails every 2 to 3 days. This is something that I don't specifically perfectly agree with, but basically every dog is different, every situation is different, and every dog's nails are going to respond differently. So I'm going to give you 2 real-world examples, one maintenance example and one quick receding example. My personal maintenance example is my own dogs, Bender and Beta. I Dremel their nails about once every 2 weeks, and that's just a rough estimate, but it's fairly accurate. That's when their nails start to bother me, and I decide that looks a little too long and so on. So I wanted to share some pictures with you guys. So here are some pictures of Beta's nails backlit. Take note of how much material there is above the quick. Driving that material back is one of the main things that's going to help you recede the quick if it needs to be receded. Now, again, with my dogs, it's just maintenance, so I'm not actually working to recede the quick. And just for fun, here's my after picture. So the before picture is the roughly 2 weeks of growth, and then the after picture is after I Dremeled them. So that is my personal maintenance example, which is that doing my dogs every 2 weeks is perfectly sufficient to keep their nails maintained. That's less often than once a week, and I think more manageable and makes more sense for my dogs. Now let's talk about my real-world example for chasing back the quicks. I had a client who came in and he had 2 bulldogs. His bulldogs had never had their nails Dremeled. So his slightly older dog had particularly long nails and long quicks. And I told him, you know, if I use the Dremel on these dogs, I bet I could get them shorter than you've ever seen them, because you've only ever had them clipped, and, you know, not even that often. So he was all in. He was like, sure, let's do it. And after the first session of Dremeling, especially the older dog's nails, this is the main one I'll talk about, because the quicks were so long, they still looked kind of long. So it was almost awkward. Like, he was kind of like, I thought you told me this would work. And I was like, it's working. You just need patience. So I told him, bring them in this often. You know, I think I said at least every 2 weeks. But even if we did it once a week, that would be great. Well, he didn't bring them in as often as I wanted. He ended up bringing them in about every 5 weeks. 5 weeks. And so the second session, I did the nails again, and we got them shorter. Not quite normal yet, but we got them shorter. By the third session, those nails were looking good. We were both impressed. The owner and me, we finished up this dog's nails, and we both were like, well, would you look at that? Her feet are starting to look normal. She could, her toes weren't twisting anymore because they were, they were able to be just kind of on the ground normal. So I was real excited to see that even though life kind of got in the way and we didn't get to it as often as we wanted, 3 sessions, 5 weeks apart, got these quicks to recede. And we just maintained it from there. Now, I don't want to claim that doing a dog's nails every 5 weeks is the optimal way to get the quicks to recede. I don't know what is absolutely best and what is optimal, but what I do know is that the hammered advice of to recede the quicks, Dremel your dog's nails every 2 to 3 days is kind of overwhelming, and not everybody has time for that really and can realistically achieve that. And I don't want people to be discouraged. I want people to give it a shot. And if you want to know a little bit more about dremeling technique, then check out my dremeling technique video. So I don't have an easy by the book answer, but I'm hoping that these stories will help paint a clearer picture and encourage some of you not to give up. And if you guys have any stories of your own timeline of what worked to recede the quick on a dog, then please post that in the comments below, because the more realistic timelines that we see, here's what I did and it worked, and it's like this many sessions, this time in between. I want to read that, and people want to read that, so that we can see what really works and what needs to happen. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Colleen, and this is Good Dog Grooming. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.